Thank you, Dr. Morrow from Maple Woods, our community college partner for our vet tech program. My name is Aaron Smith, and I'm the career and tech ed coordinator for the district. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your career?
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Dr. Chris Morrow. I'm a veterinarian by trade, and I've been a veterinarian since 1996, and been the director of our veterinary technology program, where we train and educate veterinary technicians here at the Metropolitan Community College since 2005. And so I get to the best of both worlds. I get to work with veterinarians and veterinary technicians. And of course, the reason I'm in the field is I love working with animals, and I love medicine and surgery. And so I've got almost the perfect job, if you wanted to say that.
Great, yeah, and actually you answered part of my next question, which was what was your favorite part of your job? And so you've kind of answered that, being the surgery piece.
Yeah, I really enjoy surgery, and unfortunately, working on people was never anything I wanted to do. Honestly, people, to me, it's gross, some of the things that we fight with. And so I really enjoy working with animals. And of course, I like surgery. So I went, to do surgery in the veterinary field, you have to be the veterinarian. So I became a veterinarian, but yeah, no, working with animals that was always my dream, and I get to live it.
Yeah. What is maybe one item in your job that is not so good, or not one of your favorite parts of the job?
Yeah, one of the hardest parts of the job is, the animals are limited by what the families can do, either afford to do or physically do in taking care of the pets. And so, a lot of times we know what would be ideal. And so one of the hard parts of the job is, whenever we can't do what's ideal, trying to problem solve and work with that client on how do we best take care of the patient. And so that's where it comes to be sometimes a difficult position. On the human side, they've got the insurance side, and insurance covers a lot of that. We do have some pet insurance now, and so I really see that probably changing over the next 10 to 20 years as that changes kind of veterinary medicine. But the big thing is, the limitations, the financial limitations that a lot of families have, or like I said, the physical limitations. A lot of times we like to do rehabilitation, and some people are physically able to do that, and some are not.
Right. Okay. What was your very first job that you had, and what did you learn from that experience?
So my first job was actually in a veterinary hospital.
Really? Okay.
I was 15 at the time. They built a new veterinary hospital 3 miles from my house. And so I rode my bike those 3 miles, and started as a kennel attendant, feeding and providing water and care, cleaning up after the animals when I was 15, and really haven't left the field since. That was always a passion. I grew up on a farm, and so I liked working with the animals, and so my first job was a kennel attendant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your specific educational pathway? What'd that look like? But then also for students who maybe want to become a vet tech, what is an educational pathway they can take now currently?
Yeah. So students, in the high school level, definitely anybody can start as a kennel attendant. Some people look at it and say, "Oh, you're doing a lot of cleaning." Honestly, that first job I had, I learned a lot on how to recognize disease early. I also learned how to read body language, animal body language. They do communicate, just not verbally all the time. And so we have to actually read body language. And because of what I learned in that early job, I don't get bit very often or injured very often now. I can see what's coming, switch roles, change what we're doing, so the animal's more comfortable with whatever we have to do. But that experience kind of started me off, and of course, the longer I was in the hospital, I got to watch veterinary technicians, I got to watch veterinarians, They work as a team to take care of those animals. And I knew I wanted to be part of that team. I really had a passion for surgery, and so I went the veterinarian route. Um, and so with, you know, the surgeries and being a veterinarian, I throughout practice try to improve and advance the medicine and care that we were providing the animals. And the longer I worked with the veterinary technicians, I realized the importance of that team aspect, and it really is. We work as a team between the veterinarian, the veterinary technician, the veterinary assistant, and even our receptionist. You know, we call them customer service representatives, but receptionist customer service representatives are the ones that are on the phone with our clients, helping them out as far as getting appointments made, providing advice or education. The veterinary assistants are really kind of our right hand as far as helping me or helping a veterinary technician hold those animals, restrain those animals, help us with the treatments and the therapies that we're doing. And so they're a vital part. Of course, the veterinary technician is our veterinary nurse. I say that they're our veterinary nurse, our radiology technician, our ophthalmology technician, our pharmacy tech, kind of rolled all into one person. So they're definitely our right hand person. And then of course the other veterinarians that I work with are just superb as well. We, you know, veterinary medicine's a little difficult in the fact that we do get to do all parts, which makes it a little hard. You have to know a lot of information to be that ophthalmologist, that internal medicine person, radiologist, ultrasonographer. You know, we do it all. And so there's a lot of information we have to know. We have to know it well for many different species. And so, you know, veterinarians really are some of the smartest folks I've ever worked with. So.
And is that just for your specific job? Was that just a 4-year degree, or did you have to have a doctorate, if you will, past your college degree?
Yeah. So the veterinary degree, so veterinary school is 4 years. And to get into veterinary school, they have a list of what they call prerequisites, courses you have to take before you can apply to veterinary school. And that normally takes 3 to 4 years. I would say on majority of the people, they usually finish out their bachelor's degree and then apply to veterinary school. So you're talking altogether 8 years of college, 4 years of undergraduate, and then 4 years of your doctorate program.
Okay.
And for veterinary school, there's only 30 in the country that are, well, they're adding more, but right now we're looking at about 38 to 32. I don't know if they started this year or not, but 30 to 32 veterinary programs across the country. Thankfully, we've got one here in Missouri at the University of Missouri in Columbia, and they have been around for a long time and have a great program for us. But if, you know, when I'm talking to students in high school, you know, really what you're looking at is you're looking at that veterinarian, which you are a doctor. Doctor of veterinary medicine is the degree. And that's going to take 7 to 8 years of college. Right now, I'll tell you the average student loans, though, for the veterinarians that are graduating, right now they're average about $200,000 to $250,000 in student loan debt. So it's not a cheap avenue for you. When you graduate, you'd be your starting salary, depending on where you go in the country, is going to be between $65,000 and $80,000. It will go up from there, but I always like for high school students to know that there is that education does cost, and so at the high school level, the advantage I'd have or tell them to take advantage of, go ahead and apply for as many scholarships as you can. You know, utilize what monies are available, grants and scholarships as you're going through. And that way you've got less student loan debt as you come out. The veterinary technician role, that is it's a 2-year program with usually 1 year of prerequisites. So altogether, that's a 3-year program. Here at the community college, that whole 3-year degree runs about $10,000 to $12,000 altogether. So most of the students, they're working while they're attending the program. And so most of our students graduate debt free. The average starting salary here in Kansas City for veterinary technicians, most of our graduates are between $28,000 and $32,000 a year to start. And then, of course, it goes up from there.
Mm-hmm.
Veterinary assistants, we do have a veterinary assistant program that usually it would take, most students it's taken 1 year, 2 semesters to get through that certificate program. And normally for the veterinary assistants in practice, they're usually going to be making usually pretty close to $10 an hour, usually to start. Seems like that's kind of the average across the area. Veterinary receptionist, about the same thing. Veterinary receptionist, there's a certificate program for it. Takes most students about 1 year, 2 semesters. And again, that they're going to usually start about somewhere between that $9 and $12 an hour mark is where they're going to be.
Okay. What can students do now that would help prepare them to get a job in the field in the future?
Yeah. So, if one of the key things is study like crazy, learn as much as you can. You're going to need to know a lot of science. You're going to need to be proficient in your math. Communication is very important. So anything you can do as far as public speaking or writing, all of that's going to be important. So, do your best in all of your subjects. The other thing I would recommend is volunteer. Try to get your foot, in the door at some of the places to observe, see what roles are out there, what would interest you the most, and really until you can really see them in action, it's kind of hard to know which one you really want to do as a high school age person. So go out and try, at least observe. I know with COVID right now, it's kind of hard to do, but COVID will be gone in a little while. We'll get on top of this, and you'll be able to observe and shadow at places and see things. The other thing we've started here at the program, because I know when I was in high school, I really wanted to do something in veterinary medicine, and there wasn't a lot available. At the community college, we've created a certificate program that can be done while you're in high school. Junior and senior students can actually take classes. The classes are offered online for majority of the classes, so you can work right there at a computer at the school, or if you guys are doing remote learning from home right now, they can do it from home. But there's our assistant and our receptionist certificates can actually be earned at the same time, and they can do it while they're juniors and seniors, and that way, as they're trying to get their foot in the door at some of these veterinary hospitals, if you go to them and you've got some knowledge and a little more information, you're able to have better chances of getting into those positions that they're hiring for, as a kennel attendant or even a veterinary assistant or receptionist. And so that's an opportunity that they now have. We've just started that in the last few years. So that's something new that they can do in high school as well if they really know veterinary medicine's their focus. So that's an opportunity for them right there. And I believe, Aaron, I think we've sent you guys some information. If not, they can find all the information on our website for Metropolitan Community College. It's the veterinary assistant and veterinary receptionist certificates is what it is.
Yes, we do. We have all of that information. And so any student who's watching this can reach out to me directly, and we can get them that information, as well as just our own vet tech program that partners with you. We have the first 2 classes, I think it's vet terminology and vet program management, that they can take their junior year, 1 each semester online. And then next year will be the first year we'll attempt those other 2 classes. I think it was animal 130 and 140.
Animal diseases, and then animal care and sanitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those would be a senior year level class for us, but they would again take 1 each semester. And so we do have that option here at least, and that would get them 4 classes out of the way towards that vet tech degree if they wanted to, or like you said, most of the, I think all of those classes would apply to the receptionist or the assistant position, correct?
Correct, yeah. So there's one class difference between the veterinary assistant certificate and the receptionist, and that's business communications, which if you're going to enter the field, that's a great one to have anyhow. And so I would encourage them with it being just that one class difference, take that class as well and earn both certificates. What's nice is we built it so they're stackable credits. So the credits they're earning there with you guys during their junior and senior year, you're exactly right, count towards the degree for the veterinary technician degree. They also satisfy some of the prerequisites for veterinary school application. And so we call them stackable credits, which means you're building towards, additional future degrees. If once you get into the veterinary hospital and you get a chance to observe that veterinary technician role and that veterinarian role, you decide you want to pursue one of those, these credits will help you. It's information that would help, and you could build upon it.
Well, thank you again for your time today. I know our students who are interested in this field will gain a lot from this and be very, they'll be benefited a great deal. So again, appreciate your time and thank you for helping us out.
Well, I thank you for helping the students. I appreciate all the work you're doing. So if you guys need anything, let me know. But students, good luck. Hope to see you guys in a few years.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.